CTV News at 5 with Tony Ryma and Rick Wyman with weather.
Good evening. Thanks so much for being with us on this Friday, March 6th. Two men charged with murders from 2022 were in Sudbury court today to deal with legal matters before their trial next month. Joel Roy is charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder and 1 count of second-degree murder, while Kevin Lamoureux is also charged with murder. Details from court today are protected under a publication ban. The case involves the fatal shooting of 2 men at the Travelodge Hotel on Paris Street, December 20th, 2022. Also connected is the 2022 death of a Southern Ontario man whose body was found in a wooded area in April 2023. The trial is set to begin April 7th. Shifting now to the weather, and above seasonal temperatures and rain expected. For more on that, let's bring in CTV's Rick Wyman. Rick.
Tony, we've got rainfall warnings across the Northeast, primarily along that Highway 17 corridor. You can see Sault Ste. Marie, Sudbury, North Bay, and communities in between, including Gore Bay, Perry Sound as well. So let's check out our forecast radar. We've got the amounts that we'll talk about momentarily, our 5-day forecast. And of course, the radar. Brought to you by CAA. Get your membership today at getcaa.ca. There's the map. There's the precipitation that will continue or begin this evening, continuing into tomorrow. It's going to be wet. Details coming up on the 5-day forecast.
Thanks, Rick. A judge has affirmed a $3.6 billion settlement for claims under the Robinson Superior Treaty. The money is being awarded as compensation for breaching the treaty on annuity payments, which were intended to increase, but never did. After 6 months of negotiations, First Nations felt as if the resolution and negotiations were not done honorably, as directed by the Supreme Court.
We have comments in the decision by Justice Hennessy that much of the process was not up to snuff. But on balance, he said, and this is the conclusion, on balance, the amount is within the ballpark. So the process, not so much the result within the ballpark. Supreme Court of Canada said both the process and the result had to be honorable. And so whether or not there's an appeal or not, my clients have to consider whether or not to appeal.
The 30-day appeal period began February 27th. The province did not respond to our request for comments, citing the appeal period. However, the federal government said it respects the First Nations' decision to seek a review, adding the Ontario Superior Court found that the compensation Canada and Ontario provided to the First Nations was reasonable and honorable to address past wrongs. We told you yesterday about calls from Kashechewan First Nation for the Minister of Indigenous Services, Mandy Galmasti, to resign. The request for her resignation comes after 2 months of canceled visits to Kashechewan and host sites for evacuees. The minister responding late yesterday to our request, saying in part, "While I have been working with urgency to support this emergency response, I regret not having been able to visit the community in person and remain committed to doing so." She says she's been in contact with Chief Hosea Wesley since the beginning. Galmasti did not provide a timeline for visiting the First Nation in her written statement. Canadian Army reservists are wrapping up a 9-day winter exercise in the Hearst area. Officials say Glacial Arrowhead 26 is necessary to ensure they are ready to defend Canada's Arctic region if ever called upon. CTV's Lydia Chubak visited the troops.
Army reservists are entrenched in Hearst, engaged in a winter warfare exercise.
If you can fight in the cold, you can fight anywhere in the world because it's the hardest thing to do.
They set up a command center in the town's fire hall to maintain communication with 3 platoons positioned in the Arctic watershed north of Constance Lake First Nation. Major Mark Richardson is the commanding officer for the tactical portion of the operation.
This is exercising defensive tactics. So we are holding a position to prevent a notional or pretend enemy force from advancing south towards the community of Hearst. So we are protecting this road from an advancing enemy force.
About 170 reservists are here to rehearse warfighting skills in a sub-zero climate in the event of being called to serve. Hearst was chosen this year from a dozen locations for its austere environment and its proximity to the Trans-Canada Highway.
This is my first trip to Hearst, but we do these exercises every year as part of a large reserve mobilization to practice our warfighting skills in the Arctic and subarctic environment. Well, it was very cold when we got here. It was minus 45 and very challenging conditions, but we persevered through and did our job.
This has taught me a lot about managing myself and others as well. So if you're cold and you're getting cold, you're not going to be very helpful to everybody else if you're suffering. So keeping accountability of yourself and then also checking in on your friends, because if they're cold, they might not say it, or if people aren't complaining, typically that's a bad sign. They're suffering in silence and you don't want that.
That's something that increasingly is important as the world politics evolve, and so we just want to be prepared should we need to defend Canada or respond to anything domestically as well.
Training in this location also presents the unique opportunity to learn skills from the Canadian Rangers.
Survive off in the land, or how do you properly maneuver through the snow, how to build fires, how to check the ice, what else could there be? How to properly take down trees, how to properly look for, firewood.
Glacial Arrowhead 26 concludes this weekend with personnel returning to their home garrisons. Leaders say it's important that Canadians are aware reservists operate in approximately 117 communities and play a role in defending Canadian Arctic sovereignty. Lydia Chubak, CTV News, Hearst.
It's time for a quick break. Coming up on CTV News at 5, Rick has your full weather forecast. First, we're heading to North Bay and Worthington Street. This live webcam is courtesy of the city. It's 5 degrees. We're back in a few minutes.
Pure Country 91.7 wants to send you to Sandals South Coast in Jamaica. We're giving away an all-inclusive Caribbean vacation for 2 every weekday. Listen for your chance to win. Pure Country Passport with Sandals Resorts. Get closer to the Caribbean.
Welcome to the weekend. Look what I've got in store just for you. We've got lots of rain starting this evening and continuing tomorrow. But I'll make your weekend a lot easier. We've got the time change. You'll lose an hour of sleep early Sunday morning. We'll get to that momentarily. Forecast radar. This is the system that's going to wreak havoc with lots of rain. We'll get to the numbers in just a moment. So you can see by early tomorrow morning around 9, some snow to the north, rain to the south, and that will continue off and on until Sunday at 6. Now the numbers, your 5-day forecast. Sudbury Nickel Belt 5 to 10 millimeters for tomorrow, 5 to 10 this evening. We'll get to that later. 7 degrees your high. Time change Sunday about 2 o'clock in the morning. Remember, it's forward, not reverse. Forward. People get that confused. You spring ahead. Monday, chance of showers. Tuesday, chance of flurries. And Wednesday, some cloud cover at -4 degrees. Meanwhile, Sault Ste. Marie, Algoma, 5 millimeters of rain. Some rain this evening as well. We'll get to that later on. 6 degrees your high. Time change Sunday, chance of showers. Monday, we've got chance of showers again at 4. 1 degree on Tuesday, chance of flurries at 60%, and cloud cover Wednesday at -3. It's pretty well standard, the forecast that is, right across the Northeast this weekend. Timmins, Cochrane, Kapuskasing, 5 to 10 millimeters of rain tomorrow, then 5 centimeters of snow tomorrow evening. 2 degrees, 3 degrees on Sunday, some flurry activity and some sleet. Monday, chance of sleet as well at 3, -8 Tuesday, chance of flurries, and again, chance of flurries, -6 on Wednesday. Temiskaming Shores, Kirkland Lake, 10 to 15 millimeters of rain tomorrow. 7 degrees, your expected high. 3 on Sunday with the sleet. Chance of showers on Monday at 6. -5 Tuesday, chance of snow. Cloud cover Wednesday at -3. How about North Bay and West Nipissing? 5 to 10 millimeters. Risk of a thunderstorm for tomorrow at 9. 4 degrees on Sunday. Chance of showers. Chance of showers on Monday at 7. 0 Tuesday. Chance of flurries. Cloud cover Wednesday -3. Yikes. Going to be wet this evening. Chance of freezing drizzle and freezing rain as well. That will continue into tomorrow. Tony, it's going to be messy. Back to you.
Thanks, Rick. And North Bay's Canadore College announcing today it will need to find $20 million in savings for the next fiscal year. The college will conduct an organizational review, which will include an evaluation of the college's structure, enforcement, Complement and resource allocation. Canadore will be taking a phased approach and will be offering one-time voluntary departure and retirement incentive programs. OPSU Local 657 President Jim Ronholm says he doesn't believe this will solve a $20 million deficit.
I expect that a certain number of employees will take them up on this offer. So we've seen the same kind of offers made at most of the other colleges in Ontario. I don't have a lot of faith that this solves the problem in any way. I think this is only just a piece of the problem, a piece of the puzzle. And I think that we will see further restructuring, possibly layoffs, certainly program closures going forward.
The college says future phases will be guided by ongoing assessments and consultations, adding the focus going forward will be protecting core academic priorities.
This isn't a Canadore situation specific. All of the colleges and universities too are suffering under the funding model in Ontario. I should be careful to make it clear that it's not one government that's done this. It's been a progression. Where funding has progressively gotten worse on a per student basis for this province compared to any of the other provinces.
College officials say there may be future phases based on the ongoing assessment. Canadian shoppers are seeing their wallets squeezed each time they're buying groceries. Well, a new free phone app developed in North Bay is designed to give shoppers more cost control at the checkout. CTV's Eric Tashner tells us more.
More expensive food prices means tougher choices for Canadian grocery shoppers.
Having such staggeringly high grocery bills is really, in other aspects of my life, affecting me. And I've had to delay other payments before on the account of groceries.
The latest food price report produced by several Canadian universities projects the average family of four will pay almost $1,000 more for food this year, at over $17,500 for the total yearly bill.
I get the flyers, I see the sales, and you gotta be picky. You gotta go grocery store to grocery store and get the best deal.
Last bill, typically $200. I would typically shop maybe 2 times a month.
To help shoppers find the best deal, One Red Maple Inc., headquartered in North Bay, designed a new grocery savings app called Gopher.Run, an AI-powered tool that analyzes prices across nearby grocery stores and shows the user where each item is the cheapest. The app then provides a clear breakdown of savings.
We find the average family of four will save about 25% on their groceries just by buying the same product at the right place.
Users can upload or create a grocery list, and the app automatically shows where each item costs less.
Put in your postal code and you put in your radius, 10 kilometers from your postal code, how far are you willing to drive, and it pulls all the stores in that radius, and then we check all of those stores.
Beyond price comparison, the app integrates recipe-to-list functionality, grocery store flyer preview, and highlights Canadian products.
You can go on everybody's website and you can check the price of bananas at every single store, but to do that for 50 items and then make a list of what stores to go to optimize your spend is nearly impossible.
Huge resource to use for sure, especially for some of the low-income people.
As bills soar, cost-cutting has become a routine grocery shopping tradition. Eric Tashner, CTV News, North Bay.
Celebrating Women coming up on CTV News at 5. An event in Sudbury today to recognize entrepreneurial women and leadership in business.
Hockey This Week is brought to you by Rastall Nut and Bolt Company.
It was a tragedy that took the life of 15-year-old Connor Dunn last April. Now the community is honoring the young athlete at a time when they could use him the most.
He's one of those kids that when times are tough, he can he can be silly or make kids laugh and turn a negative mood into a positive mood.
It's just like, it's like a big hole in your heart. He was such a big piece, and now he's just gone, and it's really hard.
Recently, Dunn's number 19 jersey he wore with the Sioux Greyhounds U16 AA team was immortalized in his neighborhood arena in a game that featured his younger brother Cash and many former teammates in front of an emotional full house.
I've been Connor's friend for a very long time, and just seeing that go up, it's obviously very sad, and it kind of just hits you very hard.
Especially the memory of getting in that crescent around the jersey there and seeing it get released will definitely be something to remember.
To further pay tribute to Connor, a scholarship fund was created in his name. It centers around two of his loves, hockey and soccer. At Sault College, it will give financial support to men's and women's hockey players who display Dunn's level of kindness, leadership, and community spirit.
To be just, connected with that is a real honor, and I hope that it brings, future student athletes at our college the opportunities to continue in sports that they love, that obviously Connor loved.
He believed in inclusiveness. He was the kind of guy who didn't want to leave anybody behind, and so through this fund, we hope to make sure that we honor that and leave no child behind who wants to be able to be involved in sport.
The details are still being finalized on the amount for each hockey scholarship. However, the funds have already helped 25 families afford organized soccer. Those who knew Connor best wish more than anything to have him back, but say that knowing his legacy will benefit others is fitting for such a special young man. Corey Nordstrom, CTV News, Sault Ste. Marie.
And now to the OHL, and one northern team was on the ice last night. Liram Amadovsky on the rebound there wins the battle to get the North Bay Battalion on the board against the Oshawa Generals. Ethan Procession would net another two before the end of the match, but a rally by the Gens. Oshawa takes this one 4-3. And the Gens will continue across the north, taking on the Sudbury Wolves tonight at the Community Arena. Puck drop is 7:05, while the Sioux Greyhounds are on the road to face off against the top-rated Kitchener Rangers at 7 o'clock. Last night it was a battle at Countryside Arena between the Sudbury Cubs and the Sault Thunderbirds. The two teams trading goals all game long, but no one able to capitalize in overtime. The game for these two ends at 3 goals apiece. Tonight, the Cubs are in Powassan to take on the Voodoos, while the Thunderbirds play host to the French River Rapids. Both those games are 7 o'clock starts. The Hearst Lumberjacks are in Michigan tonight to face off against the Sioux Eagles, and the Espanola Paper Kings head north to play the Iroquois Falls Storm. Puck drop for those games is 7:30. A special anniversary is happening this May in Sault Ste. Marie. In the spring, it will be the 100th birthday of the Kiwanis Club. The club was chartered May 20th, 1926, and it's an organization that serves children in the community. A former Kiwanis Club president told CTV News all year long the group fundraises for projects that benefit young people.
The Kiwanis Park, that's the old Rosedale Park, was revitalized in cooperation with the other local Kiwanis Club here in Sault Ste. Marie, and we have a beautiful facility now for the children in the area, and we are actually looking at doing a phase 3 to go with a quiet zone, so that is more fundraising that we'll be doing throughout the year.
St. Jules also says the Kiwanis Club provides scholarships for students at Algoma University and Sault College. He adds the Service Club also has a leadership program at the St. Francis French Immersion School. By the way, the kickoff to the 100th anniversary is tomorrow. It's called Dance Through the Decades at Grand Gardens downtown. For more information, you can go to Facebook and search SSM Kiwanis. The Greater Sudbury Chamber of Commerce hosted its annual International Women's Day event this morning. It featured a panel of 4 women and their role in business. CTV's Lindsay Ellick reports.
450 people packed the Caruso Club Friday morning to hear from 4 women. One, a restaurant owner for over 50 years, another, a CEO, and 2 more with experience in the mining industry.
I feel like I could take on the world. The energy in this room has just been so uplifting and empowering. And I hope that everybody kind of takes that away.
Jennifer Berger is a geologist and mom of 2. She shared encouragement to other women in her shoes to focus on prioritization, not perfection.
We all want to do everything to the best of our abilities or beyond that. And, you know, we feel that we have to be perfect and we don't want to put our hand up until it is perfect. And that's just not reality, not when you're juggling so many competing priorities. So we do have to prioritize.
The panel concluded asking the women what they would say to their younger self if they met for coffee.
She will have one question for me, and she will ask me, am I going to be okay at 15 years old? And I would say to her, yes, more than okay. You're going to feel underestimated, you're going to be tested, but hard work and courage, it's powerful and will carry you right through.
Cheer for one another, cheer for yourselves.
Take little steps. Small things help to build your confidence and will give you the courage when faced with adversity.
2026 marks 115 years since the creation of International Women's Day. This year, the theme is Give to Gain, a global call to step forward in solidarity for gender equality. Lindsay Alick, CTV News, Sudbury.
Some people are taking the plunge this weekend, the polar plunge. You're watching First at 5. Our first community close-up comes to us from Sudbury. Crews are cutting the ice and removing the big blocks ahead of the polar plunge tomorrow on Ramsay Lake. The fundraiser for Special Olympics Ontario begins at 12 noon in North Bay. The polar plunge starts at 12:30. We are now going south of Sudbury to the community of Britt. Gorley Roy emailed us a series of photographs. He says with rain in the forecast, snowshoeing season is coming to a close. He added, even the snowmen are sad about the wet weather ahead. Thanks so much, Gorley. And we're now heading to Swastika near Kirkland Lake. Raymond Bourgeois sent us this photograph of a partridge in her yard lately. She says at one time she had 7 of the birds. Great to hear from you, Raymond. And if you have any pictures, videos, or events you'd like us to showcase, you can email them to us at communitycloseup@bellmedia.ca. And there's more news for the North coming up at 6. For now, continue watching as we hand things over to CTV National News.